Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 4 of the 15K in a Dream series. Today, we are all about harvesting. Just got word from Mr. Hammond that he is ready to get this field done, so we've got some sorghum to harvest. Also, we have our field of canola ready to harvest next month, so we'll also cover that in today's video as well. And we'll also go through the process, going ahead and replanting everything and getting the new field ready. It's going to be a good video, so let's just get into it. Alright, so as stated before, we are harvesting all of this sorghum today, as well as this field of canola. Now, Mr. Hammond has agreed, since we are still up and coming and we're pretty new to the area and we don't have a whole lot of farming equipment besides this tractor, he's going to let us borrow his harvester to do this contract, or to do this job for him. I am pretty excited to use it. He said also he said to use it for my own field, just to give it back to him when he's done. So we have a harvester as well as an 18-wheeler with a grain extension on the back of it. As you can see, this is a pretty big harvester head, so it's going to take a second to get it all moved, but let's see what we can do. Alright guys, here we go. Let's start our first big harvesting contract. So since I'm doing this contract by myself, Mr. Hammond is footing the bill for the equipment, which for me is great because it would have cost me about $7,000 to rent all this equipment. And he is, of course, letting me use it to do my own field next month. So I am very fortunate to have this opportunity to be able to do this and kind of learn a little bit from him. Mr. Hammond's been here, I believe he said 32 years, and he's been farming for 27. So he has got a lot of wisdom he wants to give me, and hopefully I can use that knowledge to do well myself. However, I do have to switch back and forth between the harvester and the grain truck, because my buddy that I called earlier this morning said that he had a family emergency, so he couldn't make it. So I actually am having to do this entire field by myself. I was going to have some help, but it turns out that he is a little bit preoccupied, so that's alright, no problem. Told him to take care of whatever he's got to do, and I can handle this on this end. So let's make some money, and I hope that the extra sorghum that's left over will be profitable enough to go ahead and sell, because I don't have a grain silo to store any of our grain just yet. Alright, I've got the truck. Let's see how much space this is going to fill. Looks like I'll be able to get possibly 4, maybe 5 loads into one full bin. I'm not completely sure yet. It says 21%, so we're going to be just shy of 5 loads, which is going to be pretty sufficient in regards to space, because we're going to be going a while. So let's just keep it rolling. Alrighty everyone, dropping the first truck off. We got a huge chunk of the field done. It took about 5 loads of the harvester to fill up this one silage, or not silage, but the silo bin to take it here. There you go, 38% transported, so we'll actually be able to get 2.5 of these containers will be Mr. Hammond, and then whatever is left is going to be for us, which is going to be great. And while I have this quick break from the harvesting, I wanted to talk to you guys about something I'm pretty excited about. I am starting a second channel. Yes, that's right, I have a second channel. While this one, Logie Bear, which is, of course is me, this is my gaming channel. This is the different clips of games and series of games that I like to play for you guys, to make some content for you all just to enjoy. The second channel is called Pierce Crafts, P-I-E-R-C-E Crafts, is going to be all about doing different crafting jobs like woodworking and welding and different things of that nature. I'm going to be restoring some older objects. Like our first video is going to be a big restoration video. It'll drop in a couple of weeks just because it's such a big, it's a big project. However, I'm pretty excited about it. So if you guys are fans of seeing things go from old and broke it down to new and just, pretty much just out of the catalog, then please go subscribe to that channel. Like I said before, I'm really excited about it, and I know that you guys will enjoy the videos just as much as I enjoy creating them for you guys. It's called Pierce Crafts, P-I-E-R-C-E Crafts. I'm going to put it right here in the video just for a second. We also have an Instagram page. Go follow us on Instagram. I'll be posting some different things that I'll be making for you guys to possibly buy perchance, to furnish your home with some things that are authentic and homemade. Everything in there will make great additions to your home. I have no doubt about that. So, yeah, just go follow us on Instagram, P-I-E-R-C-E Crafts. Yeah, let's get back to this harvesting. Alrighty, everyone. Second truck just got to the silo to drop it off. I think we're going to have less than I originally thought. There's not a whole lot of that big top field left. So I think that we may get a quarter, maybe 20% of the tank for our own profit, which still is pretty good because the demand right now at this sell point is really, really high for sorghum. So I'm not upset about it, but we've only got about half the field left, so let's get her done. Hello? Hi, Mr. Hammond. Yes, sir. I've got about one more pass on your field, I think, and then we can take off the rest of it to the silo. Yes, sir. Okay. I can do that. Yes, sir. I'll be there in about an hour or so. All right. See you then. Bye-bye. Alright guys, so that was Mr. Hammond. He was letting me know that he wants me to drop the harvester and the grain bin off at the shop because he wants to get it serviced before I use it next month. So we're going to run that to the shop once we're done with the sorghum harvest.
Alright everybody, got the last truck here at the silo. Let's see how much money we're going to make on top of Mr. Hammond's contract. There we go, now this is all going to be profit. A little less than 20%, we got about 12% of the tank. But we made $6,300 in harvest income, which is really, really good, and I will take it any day of the week, so I am very happy with that. I'm going to go drive all of the equipment as well as this grain bin back to the shop for Mr. Hammond, and I will go grab my paycheck from him. Alright, here we are at Mr. Hammond's house. Let's go get paid. Mr. Hammond? Yes, sir. Alright, thank you very much. Okay, yes, sir. You have a good one. Bye-bye. Let's take a look at this paycheck. Alright, there we go. 95.33. That's pretty good pickup for the field around our house. I'll take $9,500. So that puts us up over 100 grand. So for anyone that's new to Farming Simulator, one of the big things about making sure that your yield is high is you have to do a lot of different preparatory steps, right? You can't just go and plant and it'd be immediate 100% yield. So you got to have some fertilizer, you got to have lime to help with the pH for the dirt. You got to plow the field every so often to make sure that you turn over all the non-nutritional soil on top to the nutritional soil on the bottom to really give the earth time to really roll over. And since this particular harvesting period is half, right, because I'm able to get 2 cycles instead of 1 per year, I'm going to have to plow pretty periodically. Now, thankfully, I believe this one has been plowed recently, but I can tell that we're at 100% growth bonus, or yield bonus. But once we harvest this canola, after we chop down the old canola stalks, we're going to need to cultivate the field again, pull fertilizer, the seeder for canola, and make sure that everything is ready. And we may even need to put some lime on it, depending. I think we're going to have to figure that out after the harvest, because it doesn't need to have it right now, because it would tell you in the bottom right in the field info that you would need either lime or fertilizer, or needs to be weeded, right? Because weeds will pop up every single harvest, every single time that you seed the ground, till it up, anything that you do, every time you bypass time or you move time forward, you will have grass and weeds popping up. If you catch them early, they won't grow, right? So if the weeds are small and you pull a weeder across, then they're actually going to catch it much quicker, and you won't have to worry about it later on through your harvest. But if you don't pick up on it until later on, then you're actually going to be in a much bigger predicament than what you really want to start out with. So right now, I'm going to go back to the house and get on my computer and take a look at some different tools that we're going to need for harvesting. Alright everyone, so I just did a little research online, and I also called and talked to the guy at the shop. It's going to be about, I'm going to say, in the realm of 8,000 to get that field prepped again. So us getting the 7 grand on top for the harvest profit was very good, because that's going to pretty much cover all of that for our field. So I'm actually pretty tired from doing all that harvesting today, so I'm going to hit the hay, and I'm going to see you guys when we go to harvest this canola. Alright guys, it is November 1st, and it is pouring down rain. I don't think I'm going to be able to harvest it today, for obvious reasons.
However, I am going to go check on the field, make sure everything is going like it's supposed to. Because after taking a look at the calendar, I believe today is the day we can start planning to harvest. So let's take a look. That is a really not pleasant sound. I see some orange on this field. I think we're ready to harvest, guys. Okay, this is good. Yes, I believe we're ready to harvest. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, see, now that's what you want it to look like when it's ready. Because then the canola grain will actually be ready to pull out instead of, being early and we don't get anything. So let's go. I'm gonna go talk to the shop owner. Let him know that I'm planning on making a pretty big order of subcontracting some equipment. So let's go and do that really quick, and we'll see if this rain passes up. Alright guys, there we go. So we've got all of the stuff that we need, including the harvester and the header, for a total of just under 13K vehicle leasing. Now, I believe we have a little bit of fertilizer left at the house, but I don't think it's a whole lot. So I'm going to go ahead and buy another bag of fertilizer. And I'm also going to go ahead and buy probably 2 bags of seeds. And if we have any extra, I'll just put them, I'll put them at the house. But I'm going to go ahead and buy those really quick just so I can go ahead and get these 2 loaded. So give me just a second. Alright, so I got those 2, and if we need lime, then I'll go ahead and get some of that after we're done harvesting. Now you guys may be wondering, Logie Bear, is all this necessary? Spending all that money for all those different pieces just to do this tiny little field? And when I first look at it, I could probably tell you no, it's not necessary. However, the reason I do it is because I would much rather have my field at 100% yield than 50% or 25%, right? Because if I just I cut down all this stuff, I harvest it, and then I just replant it, right? I'm not going to get as much grain doing it that way, which means that it will take me longer and more times of harvest to pay off the money that it would take for me to rent all of this stuff. Now, is it going to be beneficial in the long term? Absolutely. Is it beneficial in the short term? Probably not, because we're still we're floating around 6 digits money-wise in our bank account. We don't have a whole lot, so right now this all seems kind of an overkill. But I would much rather overkill it and make sure that I have that 100% yield than not do anything about it at all and really be stuck. So just bear with me, guys. I'm gonna do everything I can to make it efficient, because I love being efficient when it comes to my field. I want everything to be at maximum efficiency, because if not, then there's no point in doing it in the first place, right? Like because with the grain that I'm getting right now, I'm at 100% grain, right? Which means that it took me 3 3/4 or so strips to get a full grain tank. When if I didn't have that much yield, like if I only had 50% yield, it would take me just over 2 strips to get a full grain. I mean, it would take me almost 4.5 to maybe even 5 strips to get a full grain tank. So it's the little things that make up a lot of this money going out versus the money coming in, and it's really important. Because once you learn how to understand how the field goes, all of this stuff becomes second nature, and then the money you start spending on it really doesn't become an issue. But right now it just seems like an issue because the money in our bank account is pretty low. However, I'm still debt free with the bank. I have no money going out to the bank, which is good. I haven't taken any loans yet. The only things I really plan on taking a loan for is probably going to be a silo and maybe a barn, but that's only if I decide to put those on the property. Right now, with the amount of grain that I'm going to be getting, the silo is really not necessary. I can just go ahead and sell this canola and then come back and start on the new field. So it's just small things that are helping out, and what happens when small things builds up, it tends to make a big thing, and I would much rather stay out of the red zone, the red, money wise. So alrighty, everybody, this is our first official grain sale of this channel, which is pretty exciting because all the ones before have been from helping out a couple of our neighbors and friends, but this one is officially ours. So let's see how much it's going to be. 8,000 liters of canola. Let's see what we got. $5,300 of income. That right there is perfect. That is money in the bank, and that is for maybe 40% of our field. So we've still got at least another one of these dumps and possibly partial of another one. So that goes to show you guys that while we spent about 18 grand or so, I think I bet about 18 grand or so to get all of that stuff together, we just got back just under 6,000 of it with one dump, right? And now if I was to space this out, and depending on the different harvests, while we're going to have, some leasing costs every month, the money we're going to make from this field is really going to just start kind of progressively taking all of that and throwing it back into the positive. So all that red in our ledger will then start soon turning black and go into the positive, so we won't have to worry about it being negative anymore. So that's really good for us. Alrighty guys, second load of canola going in. Should be about 5,300 bucks, just like last time. Yep, just under 5,400. So that brings us up to just under 11,000, which means that we'll probably have maybe a half of a tank, maybe a little bit more. So we can be looking at a profit margin of just under 14K, maybe just a tad bit more than that, which when you have to pay everything to lease it all out at 18 and you make 14, that's pretty good, especially on opening day. So I am very happy with that. Also, I was thinking, I think our new purchase, the big purchase, is going to be actually another piece of land, because I think that while we're using all of this stuff, let's go ahead and put it to good use, right? Let's go ahead and start harvesting another field, because by doing so, that'll give us an opportunity to make some more money and go ahead and pay off completely the shop for the lease and stuff like that. We will have to take a loan out for the bank, or from the bank, just because these fields are very expensive with this market so far. But I haven't taken a loan out with them yet, so I don't owe them anything. Plus, I think that as a new farmer, I'll be a pretty good candidate for a loan, because they know that I'll be able to pay them back with the money we make from this field and of course the next field, so I'm not worried about it. Alrighty guys, there's the end of the harvest of our first field. I'm going to fill up the rest of this trailer with whatever I have left, which is about 2,000 liters. And we're going to haul this off to the grain silo to make our final sale of this first harvest, which is pretty exciting because Now we can start to prepping the field for the next one. So I'm going to go ahead and run this harvester down to the house really quick, and then I'm going to go sell this final bin. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here is the last sale of our first official harvest on the channel. Right now we're sitting at 10,800 profit margin, so let's take a look and see what we've got from this last bin full, which is going to be 4,700, which puts us at 10, 8, and 47. My brain's not working. 15.5, I believe. 15,500. So that's pretty good. That only takes us off maybe $2,000 or so for leasing all of the equipment. So that is actually really good. I am very pleased with that outcome. Now, to any of you new players who are wondering what all this yellow stuff is behind the harvester as it goes along, this is straw. Okay, so this is any of the stalks and things that the canola, that's not harvestable for the canola, right? This is just any of the stalks and stuff that can be thrown down. Like you can see the stalk bottoms right here on the ground. It throws it all into a line behind you if you have your swath turned on. And what you can do is you can bring something called a baler behind it, and you can fold it up into hay bales, and that's where your grass and hay bales can come from. A lot of the times, the straw is used in silage as well as mixed food ration for cows. So you can pick up any of this extra straw on the ground and you can put it into a mixer and you can make cow food. Now, obviously, we don't have cattle right now, so I'm just going to leave the straw on the ground and it'll kind of wither away. And then once we start prepping the field, it's going to go away as well. But if we get cattle in the future, I'll definitely be pulling up all of this extra straw because that's less money that I have to spend to buy it. So it does tend to take a while to pick it all up, but it is worth it in the long run, especially if you have cattle. So if you guys make a channel or not a channel, but a cattle farm, you guys can pick up all that extra straw and you can use it in your mixed food ration. Alright everyone, so it is the end of the day. I am pretty tired. It's just almost 6 o'clock. I'm going to go inside and cook some dinner and get ready for tomorrow. I do want to take a quick look at the crop calendar with you all. So if you look at where we're at now, we are in November, so we just harvested our canola, which means our next available planting of canola is not going to be able to be done until February. Just because if, looking at everything else, December and January is pretty much, just a no-go for everything planting wise, just because it's the middle of winter, there's snow on the ground, there's really not a whole lot you can do. So we won't be able to plant until February and March. However, that is okay because so is everything else. Sunflowers, corn, oat, cotton, sugarcane, even grapes and olives. They're all planted at the very beginning of summer. At the beginning of spring in March. So I'm not too upset about that. We do have a little bit of a hiatus that we're going to do, but I'm probably going to focus on that more next video. We're going to work on getting all the fields ready, as well as purchasing a couple of things to help us along the way. I know that episode 3 was pretty lackluster, so I wanted to give you guys a really good video this time around. And I tried to just impart a little wisdom on you. For everybody that watched, thank you so much for watching. Episode 5 is going to be a doozy. I am looking forward to it though. Like I said before, guys, I do have a second channel coming out very soon called Pierce Crafts, Pierce Crafts. It's going to be all about restoring old rusted appliances and objects and things, as well as building very cool additions to your home. I will be putting
a link probably in episode 5 to that channel. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up about it now, just because it's something I have in the works. I'm really excited about it. Um, so if you like watching things that's not video game based, but you just enjoy watching a video of something being restored, back to its former glory, go take a look at that channel. When I get the link up, it'll be, like I said, in episode 5. Thank you all for watching so much. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in episode 5.